Hello and welcome to the Buttered Up Podcast. I'm Tyler, that's Shane, and today, Shane, what are we talking about?
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure
Mr.
Day.
Spielberg's new movie.
Yeah, I mean, is it a movie? Is it a documentary about what's going to happen in our society? Maybe.
Whoa.
Maybe. Is this just one whole Rogan long podcast turned into a movie?
It feels like Spielberg watched too many Rogan episodes. It did.
I in my notes as I was watching this movie, I went, feels like one long Rogan podcast in a movie.
We'll talk a little bit more about like the deep dive of it a little bit later, but to start, I guess we can give like our initial impressions to start off with. So we can do what we always do. We can do our little countdown. And we'll rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into it later. So, Disclosure Day, initial thoughts. 3, 2, 1, 7.
6.5 out of 10. I feel like I'm always a 6.5, but
well, we're kind of close.
We're close. There's issues with the movie, and we'll talk about it. But we'll talk about it. I won't spoil
we'll go
my
deeper
thoughts
into
on
it. Yeah, we'll go deeper in a minute. We wanted to do a new segment that Tyler thought of that is a fantastic idea. Tyler, did you want to introduce it?
What's poppin'? So here we're going to talk about upcoming movies. We're not going to hit all of them. Don't get mad. I did a social post recently where I was like, here are the upcoming movies. And people are like, you left movies off. And I did. But that's only because it's the summer and there's so many movies coming out over the next few months. So we may not hit all the movies. If we don't hit your favorite movie that you're most excited for, we probably will in a future episode. It might just be a tad bit far out for us to talk about.
Or we just never watch it.
Spider-Man.
We just never watch it ever. That could be an option too. And you're going to have to deal with it.
You will have to deal with that.
Unless you ask nicely, because we have no viewers. So if you ask nicely, I think I actually will go see it.
Yeah.
What I guess like to start this segment off, what do you want to start with?
Well, let's start with this. I actually don't know when this movie comes out. I think in the winter, but Shrek 5. Did you watch the trailer for Shrek 5?
I sent you the trailer for Shrek 5.
You sent me the trailer for Shrek 5.
That's how you saw it. Yeah. I don't think I could be any less excited for a movie. Honestly, like I think I could. I don't think I could care less about this movie coming out. It looks like pretty bad. I feel like I already know the premise of the movie from just everything. It's just I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, so it comes out. Oh, wow. We have a full year. So June 30th, 2027. Forget everything I said about it. Movie might be too far away to talk about. But the trailer's out, so it's fresh in my mind. I think it's kind of fun. I like the Shrek movies. I'm not saying we needed 5 of them, but in a world where companies are very focused on IP, at least this is something I'm actually nostalgic about. Unlike He-Man, I'm excited for Shrek 5. I think it's going to be fun. I like Donkey. I like Shrek. Zendaya's in the movie. Maybe we'll get to see the dragon again. I don't know. I think it'll be a fun story.
Whoa. The Shrek dragon. Good night. Christopher Nolan who?
Okay, look. I'm just saying, if you were to put Shrek 5 in theaters at the same time as The Odyssey, you're going to have a Barbenheimer situation. You will. I guarantee you. They should move this movie up a full year, put it out next to The Odyssey, and people will go and they'll see Shrek and they'll see The Odyssey at the same time. And when they leave, they'll go, wow, I really like that Shrek movie. I think a little bit more than The Odyssey.
I think if you had Shrek and The Odyssey showing at the same time, it would put Barbenheimer to shame. Yeah.
People would do both of them for the memes. They would show up in Shrek costumes with the ears, and they would go sit through Shrek and then go sit through The Odyssey still dressed as Shrek.
If you wanted to see like a 3-hour intimate movie about family reconnecting and just like the long journey of the father going on an adventure and then coming back to his family when he figured everything out. You gotta watch Shrek. You gotta watch Shrek.
You laugh, but Shrek might have one of the strongest fandoms in the world. I mean, they threw literal festivals where everybody shows up dressed as Shrek. I'm just saying, it's a favorite, and I think there's a strong possibility that's the movie of the summer in 2027.
I wonder if Smash Mouth is getting back together.
Isn't he dead?
Isn't it a band?
But isn't the lead singer dead?
Oh, I don't know. I hope not. Oh no.
Oh man, hold on. You talk while I search this up.
No. They have to put some sort of like memorial for him in Shrek 5. I wonder how much they paid Mike Myers.
Unfortunately.
Oh no.
The lead singer of Smash Mouth was Steve Harwell, who from retirement 2021. Okay, maybe he's not retired. And he passed away September 4th, 2023 of acute liver failure.
Oh no.
I think Smash Mouth will not be in this movie. They may play that song, but I would hope Shrek doesn't do AI brought back to life.
Oh no, I hope not.
Smash
They
Mouth,
would
like,
do that.
They
would
did
do
for
that.
Alien Romulus.
What else are you excited for? I guess like what something in this year. This summer,
you're right.
Ideally.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, we're staying on the theme of children's movies. Toy Story 5. What are your thoughts?
I am going to go see it. Yeah.
And that's your full thought.
Yeah, that's it. I actually, when I first saw like the key visuals for Toy Story 5, I was like, man, they're cooking. That's a good idea. Like the toy, like no one really plays with toys anymore. It's like a great concept. I really like it. And then the more I saw about it, and just like the more I know Taylor Swift is doing like a big press tour right now because apparently she has like some song that's going to be releasing during like Jesse's backstory, things like that. I feel like they're kind of promoting it for the wrong reasons now. Maybe the test screenings weren't that good. These are all assumptions. Maybe the test screenings weren't that good and they're trying to like lean on something else, or maybe it's just straight marketing. I don't know. I'm going to go see it regardless, but I mean, I'm not like, I'll be there first day, you know?
I will be there first day. I will be in my Woody outfit. No, that's not true. I'll be in my Buzz Lightyear outfit. I'll have the space helmet on, so I won't be able to hear much. And I will be there in that theater screaming at the top of my lungs every time he says infinity and beyond, okay? I am a diehard Toy Story fan. Don't ask me to recap the last 4 movies. I couldn't if I tried.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened last movie?
There was a spoon, but he's really a spork who also might be just a fork. And he's voiced by the guy who played Buster in Arrested Development. And they're like, no, you're different than us. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, even though you're different, you can be our best friend. And that's nice. It's a good message.
Yeah, it's like the other 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Toy Story 5. I think, we're both kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
We'll see it, but maybe we're not the most excited. And then I think the movie that is getting, I think, the least traction in the fandom sphere, Supergirl.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Supergirl. No one's talking about it. This comes out like next week. This is
June 26th.
This is coming out super, super soon. And no one is saying anything about it. I know like they have been doing a good bit of press for it and marketing like lightly, but I mean, it's not like the press that they were doing last year with like Gunn and all of the key actors. It's just been Millie, what's her name? Millie Alcock?
Millie Alcock, yeah.
Millie Alcock. It's just been her just posing and like doing something. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I feel like they aren't. I feel like Warner Brothers isn't. Is that like, am I the only one getting that vibe?
I don't know if it's an issue with the fact that Warner Brothers is in a transition to Paramount right now. And so they're not spending as heavy on the marketing as they may have in previous years. But what I can say for certain is that it feels kind of lifeless in the superhero world. You don't really hear people getting excited for this movie. And maybe that has to do with the fact that Jason Momoa is kind of recycled. And I think that's mildly going to be confusing to general audiences who are used to him as Aquaman. And now he's Lobo and he's a villain. And that I think is not going to resonate well if you're someone who's been casually following the DC universe. And then on top of that, I just think, I don't want to say we live in a sexist society, but we live in a sexist society and people don't necessarily support female superheroes the same way that they do male superheroes. And I know what you're going to say, all of you watching at home. That's not true. Wonder Woman was a huge success. Yes, but Marvel tried it with the Marvels. Didn't really work, right? People didn't go out to go see that movie. And I don't know. I just think we live in a sexist society, and that's why Supergirl is not getting the press it deserves.
But Tyler, Captain Marvel made over $1 billion.
Listen, I don't care about facts. I care about my opinion, which is that the world is sexist.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Unlike you, I support women. I want that on the record.
I want it to be on the record that I do support women. Sydney's not here today. We look horrible.
No, we kicked her off the podcast because Shane doesn't support women.
All right. You got me.
These are jokes. Please do not post that online. I mean, we're going to post it online, but you shouldn't post it online.
If you post it, you have to tag us. Okay, I mean, I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens. I absolutely loved The Last Superman. I don't know if they'll be able to hit what I felt with The Last Superman with this movie, especially if it being kind of like a space adventure is what kind of they're like marketing it as, which is, I don't know, maybe like a little confusing because when is this taking place in the timeline that has one movie in it? Like what?
Well, we know it takes place after the events of Superman because she's reunited with Krypto. So in that post-credit scene, she comes back to Earth, grabs Krypto, and then heads back off into space to do her Supergirl adventures.
What if the Supergirl adventures were before she dropped Krypto off?
They could be. They could be, yeah. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. But I tend to think it's going to be after, especially because in the trailer, there's a few scenes or a scene where she's talking to Clark. And he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think strong possibility it takes place after the events of Superman.
I agree. And that would make the most sense as well to keep the plot moving forward.
Yeah, and what surprises me the most is you would think after how successful The Last Superman was that there would be more hype for the Supergirl movie, especially because we know Superman's going to be in it. We know Superman's coming back with Lex Luthor for another movie. You would think they'd want to go all out, but the only thing I could think is because of the takeover by Paramount, the marketing budget is just not as strong as it would have been if that didn't happen.
Man, that's a bummer. Hopefully word of mouth carries it and it does really well. That's what I'm hoping for.
Same here.
What else do we have cooking? What else is popping?
Minions and Monsters. So if you're a fan of Despicable Me and the Minions, like I am, 2S Donde Esta Banana, you'll be excited for that. But I think the movie that everyone is most excited for, from an acclaimed cast with an acclaimed historic story, live action Moana.
I couldn't even keep a straight face. I don't care. I don't care at all. Disney doesn't care. Nobody cares. It's just money laundering. I don't. Who's going to watch this movie?
It's going to make $1 billion. Mark my words, these Disney live action movies are not very good, but they are almost guaranteed to make $1 billion. I'm pretty sure
did see
Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion.
I did see it. I liked it a little bit. Not
Lion
really.
King made $1 billion.
That was crazy. That should not have made $1
Little
billion.
Mermaid, I think, did well. I mean, these live action movies, they do really well for Disney.
It's just easy. You know, it's just easy. And then parents just take their kids there. They're like, oh my God, look, the Lion King.
Yeah.
But it's like the lion you saw in the zoo.
Yeah, except not quite, because they don't talk. Though I did try to talk to a snake once, like Harry did at the zoo, and I put my hand and face up to the glass and I went but it didn't get me anywhere.
The janitor was just like side-eyeing you, like calling the security.
I was like he didn't respond.
It didn't work. No.
And people were walking around me and I'm like, what are you doing? They try to like escort me out of the zoo. I go, stop, I'm speaking parcel tongue.
That would happen in Disney World. That would happen. What I guess like what other than Moana,
Disney
like
slop.
Yeah, like what other Disney slop is coming out? Anything?
Okay, well, I have one that's not Disney slop for you that actually comes from an acclaimed cast, an acclaimed director, and a historic story that's not Moana. The Odyssey by Chris Nolan, his next release into the movie world. What are your thoughts?
I'm ecstatic. I love Christopher Nolan. I'm so basic. I'm sad. I wasn't able to get tickets first day, but I'm sad. I'll be there. I'll be in IMAX. I'll be there. Doesn't matter. I'm so excited, honestly. I can't wait. You're muted.
Have you read The Odyssey?
Yes, I've read The Odyssey, and it was read to me in middle school.
Okay.
So I have not read The Odyssey. I have read it myself, and it's going to be read to me again, but through the genius of Christopher Nolan. I just don't know how they're going to do that
movie?
In 3 hours.
I would pay good money to sit in a theater and watch a video of Christopher Nolan just flipping through The Odyssey and reading it to us. You don't have to hire Matt Damon or Anne Hathaway or Robert Pattinson or Tom Holland or any of these other actors. You don't need fancy, intense IMAX cameras. Just give me Christopher Nolan in a soundstage, in a director's chair, reading line by line of the book.
Did you hear that the only person that asked to read the script was Robert Pattinson? When he was asked,
he's an artist. He's an artist, obviously.
He's an artist. He's a genius. Oh, man. And Ken Parsons was only 20 years old when he made Backrooms.
Look, I've seen Mickey 17. You can't tell me he's not, a legend walking.
No, he is a legend. I think he's one of the best actors of our generation. Even though not many people saw Mickey 17, I love him. I think he's amazing, and I think he's going to do amazing in this. I think he's going to be doing amazing in Dune. I think he's going to be doing amazing in anything else coming out. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait. I'm actually most excited for him over like a Matt Damon performance. I think he's going to do great.
I agree. No, I'm a Pattinson fan myself, so I'm invested. Okay, let's talk one.
Sorry, speaking of Pattinson, what about Clayface? Who's excited for Clayface?
Oh, when does Clayface come out?
I think around Halloween. That would make sense.
Okay.
I'm so excited for Clayface. I'm excited for what they're cooking over there. What are they cooking?
Okay, I was excited for Clayface. And then I saw that original trailer and I was less excited. It comes out October 23rd.
So near Halloween, yeah. Why are you not excited for Clayface?
I think because I love Clayface in the animated DC shows, whether that's Harley Quinn or Kite Man. I just like the whimsy and the silliness of that character. And I don't know. I know that's not going to be what's captured on screen for the Clayface movie. And I also wonder if this is going to feel too much like The Substance, and it's going to feel more like a ripoff of that movie than an original idea.
What I think it's going to do, I think it's going to be like Joker. Like, we're going to see him start somewhere and he's going to slowly continue to tumble until he like embodies Clayface. And then we're going to see like live action Clayface at like the end, is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming he'll get like his stairway moment too, you know, like that. That's what I think it's going to be. I'm ready for that.
Probably. And then in the second movie, they'll basically tell the audience they're a bunch of idiots and everything you loved from the first movie is stupid. And he'll throw it all out and do something completely different just to piss you off.
Yeah. I was there for like the press screening for that, for Joker 2. And that was the first time I've ever wanted to leave a movie. I was like, this is horrible.
It's not great. Whatever. We're not here to talk Joker 2, but it's maybe one of the worst movies in the history of movies.
What were you going to say before I cut you off about Clayface?
Okay. Last movie we're going to talk about on What's Poppin', Spider-Man, Brand New Day. We still don't fully know what the story is.
I'm so excited.
I'm also so excited, but it's interesting, right? Because like we knew when Spider-Man No Way Home came out what the story was, right? When Spider-Man Far From Home came out, we knew what the story was. They're being pretty coy about how all these pieces in this movie are going to kind of fit into the story.
I agree. Yeah. And I'm really excited to see that like fold out, you know, like what, I don't know. I hope it's just not like Hulk raging out and, you know, just like kind of focusing on that. I kind of want to stray away from that. They do that like once every 3 Marvel movies, I feel like. But I'm really excited to see like Marvel being like close to comic Marvel of all of like these different characters in one movie. Like I feel like that's something that Marvel does do pretty well. They haven't been doing things well for a while, but this I'm pretty excited. Like Punisher, Spider-Man, the Hand,
possibly Jean Grey.
Possibly Jean Grey. It's likely Jean Grey. If they have any sense, it would be Jean Grey. And then what? Scorpion. I'm really excited to see Scorpion.
But is it too many? Is it too many pieces? And how are they going to fit together? And we don't really know who the real villain is, right? Like that's kind of what concerns me. And this will be the first time it's not directed in this trilogy, this series. It'll be the first time it's not directed by John Watts, who had a very clear, distinctive vision for the future of Spider-Man. And I know people didn't necessarily always love that he was kind of Iron Man Jr., but at least the image and the messaging was clear. And when we wrapped up that original trilogy, it kind of wrapped up with him being like, oh, I can be my own person. I don't just have to be Iron Man Jr. like he had been in the last 2 movies. I don't know. I'm very curious to see where this goes. I'm mildly skeptical.
No, I agree exactly with what you're saying. I do think that a big plus is going to be seeing, I guess, like what's next. You know, like this is going to be the first thing that we get before. I feel like this is the first movie that has, or anything that has come out since Marvel's like, okay, hang on, sorry guys, let's try again. You know, so this is like I feel like this movie is really, really important for what's next. If this movie sucks, the hype going into Doomsday will be destroyed. This movie has to do well. And apparently the audience screenings have been extremely positive, except reports were saying that the ending was pretty bad. So I wonder what happened. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, we'll find out in July.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I'm excited.
No, it'll be fun. I do love Spider-Man, and I tend to look at things with an overly critical eye. I fully understand that's one of my main flaws as a person. I mean, I have other flaws, but that's definitely one of my main flaws.
You have no flaws.
We'll see. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, I guess like that's like the segment for what's poppin', which is cool. We'll continue to do that as more things come out. I'm sure we missed things, but I mean that's just kind of what we wanted to talk about right now. So
yeah.
What about Disclosure Day? Because that's what we're here for. You want to get into that? Let's start that.
Let's talk Disclosure Day.
Well, actually, before we do that, we can talk a little bit about Spielberg a little bit. Let's talk about Spielberg. This is his first movie since what? The Holdovers? Is that what it's called?
The Fabelmans?
Oh, the Fabelmans. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of
Is that his last movie?
I believe so. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Can you double check that?
Yeah, I'm pulling it
up. J-Mo, pull it up.
Jamie, can you pull that up, please? Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love Steven Spielberg. I grew up watching all of his stuff. Indiana Jones, not a big fan of E.T., sue me. Jaws, Ready Player One, iconic as hell. Things like that. I mean, I love Schindler's List, things like this. I love it. But I don't know how I felt about this one. And I wanted to start, I guess, like, before we started the discussion, I wanted to ask you, and then you can ask me, what were your top 5 Spielberg movies? Rank them 1 to 5, 1 being the highest.
Oh man, well, easily top 5 in this exact order. Okay, we're going New West Side Story. That's number 5. Number 4 is the BFG. Number 3 is The Adventures of Tintin. Okay. Number 2 is The Unfinished Journey. And my top ever Steven Spielberg movie, number 1, I think it's the greatest movie that was ever made, Hook.
When's the last time you saw Hook?
I watch Hook every Friday.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hook is I remember liking Hook when I first saw it, but I feel like I would hate it if I watched it again. I know that's one of his like regrets. He like did an interview recently where he's like, if I were to change anything, it would be Act 2 of the Hook or Act 2 of Hook. He's like, it's too slow. Or he's like, I don't like it, or something like that, which I thought was really funny. And it's like super easy to go back and look at that and be like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a real answer. I think in no particular order, because I think it's actually very hard to put these in order. Mm-hmm. Jurassic Park, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Saving Private Ryan, Catch Me If You Can, and War Horse is pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I like that one too.
I feel like when Gen Z is thinking of Spielberg, I feel like they normally think of like War Horse, which is crazy. Which is crazy to think about. My top 5 would be Spielberg movies, according to me, would be 5 would be goodness. 5 would be Close Encounters with the Third Kind. I like that one. 4 would be, oh god, this is so hard. Ready Player One, and I love Ready Player One. 3rd would be Indiana Jones and
the Crystal Skull.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, not Crystal Skull. I will never forgive Kathleen Kennedy for that. 2 would be Jurassic Park, and 1 would be Jaws. I love Jaws.
Okay, hot take. Jaws is a bad movie.
What?
Jaws is a bad movie. Okay, let me.
Why would you say that? No. There's no preface. What is wrong with you?
I didn't see Jaws as a child. I saw it as an adult.
You didn't see Jaws ever. That's why you have this opinion.
I saw Jaws for the first time about 7 or 8 months ago at the Hialeah AMC down in Miami, and the theater was missing chairs. Like they had not full, like half rows were missing. Okay.
And
it was just me and a friend, and we're watching this movie, and that's it. We were the only people in the theater. And all I could think is, the shark's not very scary. They keep overreacting about the shark. It's like, guys, it's in the water. Just don't go in the water. And I've never seen people struggle. For what?
It's killing people.
The acting is bad. The writing is bad. The story doesn't make any sense. It's like classic horror movie tropes where they just do dumb things. And I'm like, stop being so stupid. It's a damn shark.
Oh my goodness. But don't you remember when he's on the mast and he has the gun and he's on the mast and he's like on the mast and he perfectly shoots him and he blows up? Oh, absolutely perfect. Dun, dun,
it doesn't
like,
hold up. I'm telling you.
It does hold up. I just saw it. I just saw it.
It doesn't hold up.
I just saw it. Oh, you make me so mad.
Maybe because you saw it as a child, but as someone who saw it,
I just saw it.
Almost 30-year-old, but not for the first time.
That's true.
As an almost 30-year-old adult who saw it for the first time at the Hialeah Gardens movie theater and wherever I was down in Miami, it was not good.
All right. Next segment. I'm done talking to you about this. We got to talk about the new Spielberg movie. Is it better or worse than Jaws?
3D.
Give your answer. I'm asking you. Is it better or worse than Jaws?
Oh, it's much better than Jaws. Yeah, that's not even a question. It's not a perfect movie by any sense, but it's better than Jaws. If I wasn't told Jaws was a classic movie, I would have left halfway through.
Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I'm clipping and shipping that. That's nuts.
Not once did I think, oh, this is a bad movie. I should leave the theater. Because it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. Jaws, indubitably, is a bad movie.
All right. You can't rage bait me anymore. No more rage baiting here.
Just telling you my true feelings.
I gave Disclosure Day a 7. You gave it a 6.5. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to dive a little bit more into it. Synopsis. It's a Spielberg alien movie. Yeah.
Has he ever done an alien movie before?
No, this is his first time. It was a big jump for him. Jumping into the unknown like this. No,
yeah, it goes Schindler's List, The Fabelmans, and then Disclosure Day.
He obviously did like E.T. and then Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and then he also did War of Worlds, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
With Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So he kind of did like all the different aspects of aliens, like the different spectrums, like Tom Cruise, everyone's dying. E.T., he's a friendly little guy. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's just kind of that. A lot of the discourse that I've seen around this movie is that it's very like M. Night Shyamalan coded. Do you think that at all?
I guess, but there's not really like a twist. Like
yeah. Well,
like I was expecting a twist.
Yeah,
but I don't really think there is a true M. Night Shyamalan twist. Like when I left the movie theater, I wasn't like, whoa, didn't see that coming.
Well, what Sydney said when we were leaving the theater, I went and ran into the restroom because it was a 2.5 hour long movie. I ran into the restroom and she said that people leaving the same theater as us, like some of the consensus was 2 thumbs down. Boo. I didn't like that. But like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, these are things that people said leaving this movie, which I think is a little overkill, but like, that's crazy. Like, it's like a Spielberg movie. You say that 20 years ago? What happened to man? What is he, Unk?
Steven Spielberg is Unk. You heard it here first.
There were parts where I was like, yeah, he's cooking, he's back. And then there were other points where I was like, oh no, I don't want to watch this anymore. What was, I guess, like your general, I mean, that was like a very thoughtful conversation I just had. What was?
It's a little all over the place. I think the movie never quite found its footing, and I think it couldn't decide between being a movie about disclosing that aliens are real or a movie about aliens' effect on Earth. And I know that they're kind of one and the same, but I feel like they kind of struggled to put the pieces together. There's a lot of elements that seem kind of important, but then maybe aren't as important. And there's characters that are connected without any real understanding of why they're connected. You learn how, but you don't really learn why. And they couldn't quite figure out the power set for the rock piece. That's a large portion of the movie. It doesn't even get a real name. They just call it the weapon, right? I think they only ever call it the weapon.
I don't even remember them calling it that. I don't even know. It was just a MacGuffin is what it was.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
The synopsis for this movie, by the way, a meteorologist and a cybersecurity expert find themselves at the center of a movement to expose the government's cover-up of extraterrestrial secrets. That's the synopsis, and that's pretty much the whole movie. Which, I mean, is what a synopsis is. But, like, I mean, it doesn't go much deeper than that is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not for, like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not for, like, a lack of, like, performance either. I don't know if you felt that way. I thought, like, the performances across the board, like Blunt, Colin Firth, Coleman Domingo, Wyatt Russell, Josh O'Connor, I thought they all did like really, really well with what they had. I don't know if you thought the same way.
I have no issues with most of the actors.
Most? Ooh, let it rip. Let it rip.
Okay. Emily Blunt, fantastic. She's always fantastic. Colin Firth, I think he's a little bit too over the top at times in his portrayal of
evil bad villain. Corporation. Evil bad corporation.
Yeah. And his messaging is kind of unclear whether he's the bad guy or the good guy. It's hard to figure out. Coleman Domingo, fantastic. I think he needed more to do, which isn't necessarily on Coleman, because I think he portrayed the character as best as he possibly could. But he's essentially a man in the chair character that's not actually in a chair.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's crazy. That's a really good point. So we're gonna jump into spoilers and stuff. So if you haven't seen it, just keep watching. You're not missing much.
You weren't seeing this anyways. If
you're watching this, you're watching this. You don't care. Yeah. What? Coleman Domingo, like you said, like the guy in the chair kind of thing. I was getting that vibes as well. Spoiler alert, he has a relationship with the aliens to some extent, somehow, even though the only person that can understand the aliens is Josh O'Connor. So I don't understand that, really. Like, were they just like doing sign language or something? Like, how did the aliens speak to Coleman Domingo if Josh O'Connor is the only guy that can understand the aliens, right? Am I right in asking that question?
You are.
We are going to keep talking a little bit more about like what we thought of the movie. And I guess like one of the main things that I had problems with, and Tyler mentioned it as well, is that we feel like it couldn't get its footing at all. This movie was like not chasing its own tail. It just felt like it came out like 20 years too late. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this would have been really interesting 20 years ago when we weren't really sure if aliens exist or anything. And I guess we're like still like not like sure, you know, but like there has been like a lot of like releases of like the administration and like things that people are talking about aliens. Like this is like prevalent, but I don't know why Spielberg thought it was so important to showcase this kind of like disclosure day and like the build up to disclosure day, when I felt like this movie would have done well if it had been like 30 minutes Disclosure Day and then the aftermath of Disclosure Day.
1,000,000% could not agree more. My exact thoughts on this movie, that it's a movie called Disclosure Day, and it's a lot of buildup to the disclosure, but yet they don't really show you what happens when it's disclosed. And there's not even like a conversation that really happens of like, these are the reasons why it would be bad if we disclosed. They kind of talk about it slightly with like a nun that's a side character in the movie, but none of the real main characters outside of the girlfriend whose character's name Jane and Sister Mora are the only two that have this conversation. The rest of the movie is just, oh, these two people are going to. It felt very forced. And also, the main characters don't even know, Daniel and Margaret don't even know that their mission is to disclose. They have no idea. They never know until they get to that very last scene in the news studio in Kansas City. And that's when Emily Blunt's character, Margaret, goes, oh, I'm going to disclose this to the world. But that's not like a plan per se, right? It's, I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. And it was weird because very early on in the movie, they show you the aliens. They show you what's happening. And then spend the rest of the movie until the very last shot pretending like you don't already know what the aliens look like. They talk about them, but you don't see them. They kind of show you the power set. You don't see that. It's bizarre.
What is the power set?
I don't know.
It's the MacGuffin. It's just like they hold a device and they can do literally like whatever they want it to do. It's what it seems like.
So there's 3 triangular shaped rocks that exist in the War Lab, right? Isn't that what it's called? War Labs is the name of the company.
Headquarters of the evil company.
Conveniently named War Labs, but they don't do war. They do secret alien stuff. So there's 3 rocks that they keep locked away that nobody can access, except yet it was really easy for 2 of them to be stolen. And they also harbor these aliens that nobody's supposed to know about, but apparently it's really easy for those aliens to get out. And these rocks have magical powers where if you hold onto it too long, you'll maybe have a stroke or a seizure, or you'll die, or you'll just disappear. Like there's no consistency in what they do, why they're so powerful, and what are the side effects and ramifications of using it. I mean, you see Colin Firth's character like on a ventilator, and they're like running tests to see like what his heart rate is and his breathing. Like, this is going to be really bad, but yet he has it in his hand for what feels like hours, and he's totally fine.
There's no repercussions of him using this device as well, by the way. Like nothing goes wrong with him using this device. He's fine. So like,
yeah,
I feel like with that kind of power for like a human, like there should be like a nosebleed or like something that like shows like, hey, we're not supposed to do this, or that's like not what it's for, as well. That's kind of what it seems like. It's like not, like if the whole thing is like empathy and stuff for these aliens, like that's a big thing, is like everyone should have empathy. They're trying to sell empathy. Why can their tools do something as like malicious as that? Or maybe it's just not supposed to be used that way, and it's just like humans just using it that way because that's just how like primal we are. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really know, and I don't know if they know. And I think that's kind of the biggest issue with the movie, is it kind of felt like they didn't know where they wanted the story to go, and they kind of pieced it together as it went. And there's a lot of clunky dialogue in between, especially between Daniel and Jane. Their conversations to me never really felt like a real conversation. He's like, leave, you shouldn't be here. And she's like, I'm going to stay. But then she turns on him pretty quickly, but then she turns back against the bad guys. And I'm like, I'm having a hard time.
I felt no chemistry between those two as well.
0.
I don't know if you felt that either. It's just nothing.
0.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
It felt like she was like a plot point almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say though, everything, like, there were quite a few points during this movie, like, not to like always be a Debbie Downer, but like there were quite a few points during this movie where like on the opposite side of the spectrum, I was like, wow, I'm like having like fun. This is cool. Like I really liked everything when Emily Blunt was like looking in their eyes, like and just like reading their mind, and like that whole thing was really cool. And she didn't know that she was singing. And when she like randomly started speaking Russian super fluently to her boyfriend, which I thought was like hilarious, and she did a really good job because obviously she doesn't speak Russian, but like like things like that I thought were really cool, like the whimsy behind it, like oh what's happening, like what's happening to her and stuff. But at the end when it kind of like revealed it, I was like like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt the same way, or maybe you thought it was stupid.
No, wait. I mean, it definitely piqued my interest. I thought it was really interesting. Like, oh, maybe she's like a secret, sleeper agent for, the Russians. And that's why she's speaking Russia. And they've activated her because, there's about to be disclosure day and they want all their sleeper agents to be awake in the aftermath of what's about to happen.
That's interesting.
That's not what happens in the movie. It just turns out that she was abducted by the aliens when she was a child alongside Daniel, but yet they're different ages, but they're the same age as children when they're abducted.
Do they make it clear that they're different ages, though, in the movie? I don't remember that.
They don't, but I can't imagine they're the same age. Like, how old is Josh O'Connor? Josh O'Connor, who plays Dr. Daniel, is... IMDb does not tell me how old this man is.
All right, well that's fine. I feel like they look close enough for me.
Okay, he was born in 1990, so he would be what? How old is that? 36.
36. Emily Blunt's
he doesn't look
38.
36 in the movie. Okay, they're closer in age than you would think, but he looks younger than Emily Blunt does in the movie.
Yeah, I feel like he just kind of naturally looks young though. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
She was born in 80. She was born in 83, so she's a little bit older.
Oh, dang. Okay, she is a bit older then.
Yeah.
Well, regardless though, I think like I really like the scene when like she just like randomly walked into the military base right where he was, and they just kind of like looked at each other and they just like instantly were like drawn to each other. I thought that was pretty cool. There was some good chemistry between them, I would say, like when he like calmed her down from like the anxiety attack maybe, but like I don't know. I didn't really care about anything that happened in this movie.
Yeah, I know. And the more we talk about it, the lower I want to rank it. But it is fun. Look, there are fun elements. It's a fun movie. If you go in expecting nothing, I think you'll have a great time. If you go in having seen the trailers, I think you'll be mildly disappointed because I don't know if the movie matches what the trailers kind of set it up.
I don't think so.
Be. Yeah, but like I said, there's points in this movie that just don't necessarily make sense in terms of the writing. So we talked about The Rock, how it has powers, but the powers are random and don't seem to have any sort of correlation. Also, they're easy to steal. That's something. But then there's that scene where they're in a car. It's Daniel and Margaret, and they're driving. Is it Daniel and Margaret? No, maybe it's Daniel and Jane, and they're driving in the car to get away from the bad guys who are chasing them down. And the bad guys are really close. They're right on their tail. But then all of a sudden, conveniently for the plot, they're not that close, and they have time to stop the car, get out, find a rock, put it on the gas pedal, let it go off of a cliff. And they had all that time to do that, hide very poorly behind a bush. And the bad guys
literally just a bush.
Yeah, a bush, and not like one that's like full. Like you could easily see through it. And the bad guys go in their cars, and I think a few of them drive over the cliff as if they wouldn't have seen the cliff. And they're like, "Oh, look, there's a car down there. That's clearly that they're dead. Obviously, they're not smart enough to do that." And then they talk pretty loudly behind the bush, and then do a terrible job walking away. And I'm like, how did they not know they were there?
Sydney and I looked at each other at that exact point during the movie. We went like, because we're like, what is happening? What is that? Yeah, and it was lazy. A lot of things happen just to like keep the plot moving. I don't know. Yeah, it's just like the evil corporation, that whole thing, everything about that was just like obnoxious. It was giving very much so Ready Player One. You know how that evil corporation was?
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of like angry dummies like running like, oh, that's what it was. pretty much, just like henchmen. That was very much so what I was giving, and I kind of like, I didn't like it. They never felt like a threat at any point.
Yeah, and it kind of felt like too with the writing and some of the scenes, it kind of felt like clip farming. Like they were looking for that big moment that would be looked on upon forever as this like amazing piece of dialogue, this amazing cinematic history, and it doesn't quite hit the notes. Like, okay, I don't love Jaws, right? But there are iconic moments in Jaws. Jurassic Park, there are iconic moments, but they don't feel forced. Whereas in this movie, all the quote unquote iconic moments feel forced, and they say things for what feels more like a trailer than the actual like movie as a whole.
That's a good point. I feel like it's also because we just like, they just write. It felt like it was for dumb people, this movie. Maybe that's like too harsh. Maybe it's like way too harsh me saying that, but like it almost felt like it was like Netflixed down a little bit.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like it was kind of like,
I don't disagree.
Yeah, they were just like very much so like, disclosure day is coming, or like we have to do disclosure day, we have to release it. Like, it was just never like, I feel like there was like a lot of points where they were saying things that did, like when Emily Blunt went into her room, like they like remade her house for her to experience her life. She like walked into obviously like a little girl's room from her childhood. She was looking around, she knew exactly where everything is, and she went, my room, it's my room.
Yeah.
My room. Like literally just like that. And I was like, do you think I'm an idiot? Like, what?
Yeah. No, it's an interesting written story. Okay, how about what do you think of the North Korean storyline?
What North Korean storyline? I know there was like she like spoke Korean to that Korean guy, but what about it? What?
They start the movie off with being like, "There's a war going on in North Korea, and they're about to start World War V."
Oh, I thought it was Russia.
No, it's North Korea. No,
okay.
They're like, the North Koreans are activating and they're going to start a war and it's going to be a big deal. And then later they bring that guy in where he's like from South Korea and he's like, the North Koreans are coming. And they're like, we can't disclose aliens because it's not a good time with the North Korean war. And then when she does start to disclose it, they cut to what is supposed to be CNN, I think, or maybe it was CNN. And she's like, okay, we interrupt the coverage of this war in North Korea to tell you about aliens might be real.
Can I say that I think they only did that just to like showcase like what's really important in the world. Like they were just trying to be like, let's stop bickering among ourselves and focus on what's out there. You know what I mean? Like we have to be united as human. Yeah, it was lazy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just felt like they didn't need to have that. And if they were going to do it, I don't know. It just didn't feel needed for the movie.
No, I agree. I will say though, going back to the news anchor, her performance, I don't know who that lady is. I don't know anything about her. Props to you. That was one of the best performances I think I've seen in a while out of somebody that I don't know, or just like someone just like a random side character. She absolutely cooked. She cooked. I was like on the verge of tears and I didn't care about the movie, but she was just so emotional and she was like so like selling the story, like the ending. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. She's cooking. Did you feel the same way?
I did. I actually have my notes that the news scene might have been the most powerful scene in the movie. I mean,
I agree.
It should have started the movie. I think we should have, like you said before, we should have started with she gets taken over. She finds out aliens are real. She's going on to disclose. They do that news story where it goes all across the world. And then we move into like what should have been the movie of disclosing. I think that would have been.
If they started Disclosure Day with that news anchor at the end and that, or maybe like even 30 minutes into the movie, that movie would have been, I think, one of Spielberg's best movies.
Yeah.
Ever. Honestly. That's my personal opinion. I don't know. Obviously, this is all hypothetical and we don't know what the writing would have been like after that. But like, I think that would have been significantly more interesting than what we saw.
Yeah. I think it's a fun movie. I think there's a lot of fun elements. But if you're looking for a classic, thoughtful Spielberg movie, you're not going to get it. And if you're looking for a Spielberg movie that's really big with iconic character design in terms of like whether it was dinosaurs or aliens or even the shark, you're not going to get it either. And you see the aliens briefly, but I don't think quite enough for it to be iconic. And the buildup, there's no buildup to seeing them because you've already seen them, and then they hide them away and they come back as poorly CGI'd animals.
Why weren't they any? Why was nothing practical in this movie? The budget was low for this, or not low. It was like $115 million.
Yeah,
or something like that. There was like this movie should have been way more practical than it was. The CGI was rough. Yeah, it was bad.
I have in my notes CGI fox doesn't look good. The CGI moose looks terrible. The CGI cardinal's actually not bad. That must be where all their money went. The cardinal looks like a real cardinal, but the other animals that are, and this is what I was talking about in terms of the power set, right? These are regular aliens. We have them all captured except for one, yet except for 3 of them can turn into animals somehow. That's how they present.
That the cardinal that visited her at the beginning was an alien?
Yeah, I think so.
How did Wyatt see it? Or not Wyatt, but how did boyfriend see it then?
No, it was just, that's how the animal presents to, that's how the alien presents to all humans, so it doesn't get caught for being an alien. And that's what I'm saying with the power set doesn't make sense, right? Like, okay, the aliens can turn into animals, but yet they didn't do that to escape being captured in the first place. And then
I think we were supposed to assume they were injured, right?
Yeah. But then also, okay, why is the main alien at the very end super tall and all the other aliens they captured previously really small?
I think he's supposed to be really old.
And they get older, they get taller as they get older. It's just,
who knows? But that's like why I think he was on like a wheelchair and why he was like, you know what I mean? I think it was just like because he was old. I don't know. How did Coleman Domingo have a relationship with the alien if he can't talk to the alien? What? You know what I mean?
I guess they could write or sign language like a gorilla. I don't know.
Then what's the point of that character, Josh?
And at one point, I'm sorry, I just have to say it because I've been thinking it and haven't had a moment to throw it in there. They just all can turn invisible for some reason. One of the random powers that Emily Blunt's character has is she can just turn people invisible and in houses.
I do think that was kind of like teased though a little bit earlier when, remember the like sidekick henchman, like the big
he goes invisible
and he like poof. It looked like he like went to another place. I thought when they were gonna pick up the toy, like the MacGuffin, it was gonna teleport them to like the mothership or something. I thought he like went to the mothership and like came back, but no, he was like invisible, which I was like, that's lame, you know?
Yeah,
but whatever.
But then she can just do it forever. I don't know.
Well, it did destroy it, so obviously it took a lot of
that's
power
true
out of her. So I'll give him that.
But there's 2 more.
But yeah, there's 2 more. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. We didn't really like it. What are we gonna see next?
Okay, wait. What's the adjusted rating? Now that we've talked about it, what would you adjust your rating?
Yeah, I'll give Disclosure Day a 7 still. It didn't really move my needle much because I liked a lot of the points of this movie. Like I had some pretty high highs, some pretty low lows, but throughout the whole movie, I was pretty low. You know what I mean? But like I still had I'm still thinking about it, you know, so.
Yeah.
I think I won't rewatch it though anytime soon.
No, I wouldn't rewatch this movie. I think downgrading it to 5.5. The more I talk about it, the less I like it, which I feel like I haven't really. No, we like the backrooms. That's not true. I take it back. I love the backrooms.
We like the backrooms.
Yeah. 2 out of 3 I've not necessarily thoroughly enjoyed. Do what you want with that information. I don't know.
Would you like this movie more if it wasn't, or would you like this movie more or would you like it less if it wasn't Spielberg? Is it because it's Spielberg that our expectations are so high?
No, because I'm not surprised that he's kind of lost his touch. I feel like that kind of happens as directors get older. I mean, I don't know if you saw Francis Ford Coppola's last movie.
Yeah, I did.
What was that called?
Mega
Adam Driver. megalopolis. Like, I
or
think this
whatever.
is just, yeah, I think this is just what happens. And unfortunately, I think Spielberg has lost the touch. I don't think he can make a solid movie anymore. The Fablemans was okay.
Is there going to be a world where Kane Parsons outperforms Steven Spielberg?
I think we're there. I think we're already. I mean, Curry Barker. Yeah.
You know, what is happening? This is crazy. This is a new time for cinema, and I'm sad. I'm here for it. I heard reports that like execs are browsing Reddit and like other forums to find ideas for original stories now because of how successful these two movies have been, which is really cool.
Okay, let me. We're gonna pitch this to the new Paramount HBO company. This is our official pitch, buttered up for a movie. Two guys, and sometimes my sister / his girlfriend, and we do a podcast, and that's the movie.
Cinema. Cinema. It would get billions. We would bankrupt Paramount.
No. It would make them billionaires.
Oh, sorry. Would it be better than the Spielberg movie?
1000%.
Probably. All right. Well, what are we watching next? What's next?
I don't know. I was hoping you had an idea.
Nah, I don't know. Probably. I think we should probably see Supergirl first.
Yeah.
And then just because Supergirl is coming out, and I kind of we should be like on top of it for everybody listening.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll watch Toy Story next.
Yeah, we will. We'll see. It's a surprise. So
or
you
maybe
tune in. Or maybe both. It's a surprise. So tune in to the next Buttered Up and stay poppin'.
Stay poppin'. Bye.